Before I received my autism diagnosis, the world felt like an unfamiliar playground. Inside my own skin, I often sensed a disconnection. It was a bit like wearing someone else's clothes that didn't quite fit right for me. Growing up, that awareness of being different was an unshakable burden. On the outside, I blended into the crowd just fine. High school cheerleader, looked like everyone else. Yet within, turmoil was a brewing. This internal struggle sometimes erupted into unwarranted outbursts, stemming from my inability to articulate my feelings. Fast forward to my diagnosis as an adult, and I've developed a newfound clarity. I can now easily detect when someone around me is grappling with their own unseen battles. It dawned on me that how people engage with you typically reveal more about their inner struggles than your personal worth. More often than not, their behavior is a reflection of their emotional landscape. The private wars they wage, the heavy weights they carry, and the chaotic whirlwind within them. Humanity is complex, and the truth is that the world is a harsh place. Indifferent attitudes generally speak less to your character and more to someone else's internal mess. When you find yourself on the receiving end of an unkind remark, it's tempting to think it's about you. But usually, it's just a projection of someone wrestling with their own fears, frustrations, and insecurities. They might be reacting out of sheer exhaustion or confusion, not because they're turning their back on you. When individuals are just overwhelmed with their own personal battles, their struggles can spill over onto those closest to them in ways that hurt. They don't mean to lash out. They're just flailing in their own storms of their own issues. This can manifest in anger, withdrawal, or behavior that seems wildly out of character for this individual. It's important to remember that these actions aren't necessarily indications of a lack of care. Rather, they often signal an overwhelming need for empathy that they themselves may not even know how to articulate. While it's crucial to acknowledge that hurtful actions can't be justified, this deeper understanding can provide context. When someone is less than kind, it isn't a measure of your worth or deservingness of love. Instead, it often articulates their internal chaos. It serves as a reminder that whatever you encounter, whether it's wrestling with invisible battles that influence how they relate to the world around them, it can be very I gotta move my script down. It can be struggle. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not having a good day. We're just gonna skip that spot. Setting boundaries is paramount for your well-being, but approaching others through a lens of compassion can be equally important. When you realize that poor behavior often stems from someone else's pain, it becomes simpler to distinguish their actions from your self-worth. This newfound perspective allows for empathy to replace anger, helping you navigate the reality that while their struggles may affect you, they are ultimately not about you. However, embracing this wisdom does not condone mistreatment. You absolutely deserve kindness and respect. This mindset rather equips you to handle tough encounters with grace, understanding that how others treat you is frequently a reflection of their own experiences. This offers freedom from the weight of personalizing their actions, opening up a path to inner peace. Remember to extend this compassion to yourself. There will be moments when you might project your own struggles onto others, inadvertently causing hurt. It's essential to forgive yourself during these times, to acknowledge your humanity, you're human, and to strive for improvement when possible. After all, we are all imperfect beings, evolving continuously and navigating our emotional landscaping. Unfortunately, the way people interact with you is usually a testament to their own inner workings, rather than a measure of your worthiness. It stands as a reminder to Remain anchored in your own self-esteem, deserving of love even when it's not really expressed. Inviting compassion into your interactions can transform the experience. Acknowledging that we were all just doing our best is what we've got going for us. So the next time you find yourself on the receiving end of hurtful treatment, take a moment to pause. I'm going to take a moment to pause. Consider all of the factors that might be influencing their behavior. While it won't excuse their actions, this perspective can help you respond from a place of peace rather than pain. It's about protecting your heart and nurturing space for healing for both yourself and the other person. At the heart of it all, we are all navigating this wonderful chaotic journey called life, and a sprinkle of understanding can be remarkably liberating. I know that for me personally, I was a miserable person to be around prior to my autism diagnosis. I just didn't understand the world. Everything was confusing. I just mentally didn't feel like I was at the same age as other peers or people my age, especially women. And it was extremely embarrassing and hurtful, and I was projecting my inner pain. I know some of the comments I've received can relate to that. And after receiving my autism diagnosis, I can recognize when other people are hurting, and I don't take it so personal. And it actually makes me reflect and want to continue to understand what being autistic means. I'm Danielle. Hope you guys like this.